Good evening, one and all. Welcome to Chasing Dissent. Yeah, we're back. Regular Sunday slot now. And this week it's David, because Ben only comes in twice a week for his mental health.
We can only book these celebrities twice a week, Sarge. Isn't that correct?
yeah. He's... I'm not quite sure. I'm actually not quite sure what he's thinking is. I mean, I love Ben dearly, but I'm not
he's
sure
just one of these. He's just one of these e-celebs. He's got a very difficult, lengthy rider. We can't always meet the rider on a weekly basis. Isn't that right, Sarge?
Yeah, I mean, his green room demands are just ridiculous. You know.
Yeah.
Krispy Kreme donuts, wall to wall. You know, M&Ms. He bathes in M&Ms. Only the blue ones.
Red Bull, cherry Coke, zero sugar, of course.
Well, yeah.
But cheers. Good evening, Troll Room. Good evening, Frankie. And yes, massive improvement, folks.
Doesn't the boy look good? Look at him. There in his glory.
Yes, folks. I've stopped being a cheapskate. I'm upping my game on Chasing Dissent.
That's it. Right. Okay. Right. Let's crack on. Let's get into it, as they say. Let's get into it.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah. It's been another week and a half. I must admit, I think using AI for thumbnails is a good use of AI.
I was just going to pat you on the back, sir, and say that is a delicious looking thumbnail that you've got, actually. Isn't it, Troll Room?
It does look good. It does look good. Right. First call of the week. Trump says US won't rush in to deal with Iran, but Tehran must understand it cannot develop a nuclear weapon. Now, just correct me if I'm wrong here, David, but has Iran not been saying this since 1947? We don't want a nuclear weapon.
Yeah, I could have sworn that, Netanyahu, Satanyahu, and the usual suspects, they've been going on about this even as far back as the 80s. Mm-hmm. The 80s. They're after a nuke, But we've had the whole JPCOA thing with Obama, okay, and that was all signified. That was all grand. But now we're back to this usual canard. We've got to stop them having a nuke. It's not, they don't have it. They're never going to have one. They said they're never going to have one, but they do have a right to the peaceful use and development of nuclear energy, which other NATO countries must support them in. And now all of a sudden it's like, oh, yes, we're going to get the Straits of Hormuz open if you give up all of your nuclear ambitions, even if they're peaceful. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's nuts. Okay, they may, regardless of what they're creating uranium up to, and we don't know if they've been making them up to 60%, as Frankie says in the chat. We don't know. We just can't tell. We don't know how refined they have been. I know that for medical purposes you need to use refined uranium, but not weapons grade. And weapons grade is around about 90-odd%. So 60% is not good enough for weapons grade. I think it's higher than you would need for medical use, but it's still slightly away from weapons grade. Now the other thing is, the guy that Trump killed, the religious leader, the supreme religious leader, the Ayatollah
Khomeini, yeah,
was the guy who had a religious diktat to say the nuclear weapon was not for them.
It just shows you the whole illogical nature of this canard, like of the situation. And what all this comes down to, John, what all this comes down to, folks, is that you have a rogue, nasty little entity state. You all know what I'm talking about, okay? In the Middle East, they want to be the dominant, superior power in the region, who have their own secret nukes, their own secret nuclear program. And lest we forget, it was a guy called Mordecai Vanunu. You'll remember this, John. In 1986, Mordecai Vanunu blew the whistle. Sorry, blew the missile. Blew the whistle. Blew the missile. Just a petit faux pas there, folks. Sorry. Blew the whistle on Israel's secret nuclear program. Okay, he was arrested numerous times over the years. I think he was only released from prison in 2004. That guy is shackled to the state. He cannot be in touch with very many people at all. He is not. He is a prisoner of his own state because of what he did for the rest of the world.
Yeah. Yeah, and the whole thing's crazy. It really is. I mean, I just don't. I don't get the streets were open, everything was going fine, and because Benjamin Netanyahu got a hair up his ass, the whole world has to suffer. And basically, that's, as far as I can see, that's what's caused it.
It's global tail wagging the dog situation. The US are, doing Israel's work here, you know what I mean, and trying to rid Iran of all of its nuclear capabilities, even for peaceful means, so they can remain the dominant in the region. You know what I mean? And what's very interesting, John, just to kind of segue into to take this forward, is that yes, the Strait of Hormuz could be open once they eventually reach a particular peace deal, peace agreement, a new accord for 60 days. And now they're hashing it out. Marco Rubio is like, no, it's going to be fully open. None of this toll nonsense. And the Iranians, naturally, of course, I can understand because of their sovereign territory. Okay. And they're saying, well, yeah, we can open up the Straits of Hormuz, and yes, there are going to be tolls, but no, it's not going back to pre-war or pre-conflict level. I think I can understand what the Iranians are saying here, well, considering it's their territory.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the Middle East at all, regardless of political or religious persuasion. It's an area that just, to me, is ripe for world-ending conflagrations. But I can understand the Iranians, who have had 7 shits of hell knocked out of them, wanting some money back to rebuild.
Yeah, and they potentially still have about 70% of their weapons and munition capabilities as well, as compared to the US, where we said on, I think it was last week or the week before with Ben, it's going to take the US years to rebuild themselves with, weapons and ammunition after spaffing it on Iran.
Yeah. It's just the sooner they put this one to bed, the better. And I think Xi maybe had a word in Trump's shell. Now, I don't think it fully sunk in though, because I think Trump was ready to go. He was ready to go again, just before. Because he never went to his son's wedding in the Bahamas. Remember?
Something was going to go down in the past 24 to 48 hours.
He was definitely going to go. And I think Saudi Arabia stepped in and said, look, the Hajj is on. You want to knock it on the head just now?
That is correct. Yeah, soaring temperatures right now at the Hajj with the Hajj pilgrimage. And I would imagine as well that the bat phone, the red phone, that started ringing up from Moscow as well. It's like, oi, no, you're not going to do it, mate,
Yeah. Right. First daughter, Ivanka Trump, was targeted for assassination by an Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. Now, here's another thing that we didn't touch on there, because we always go on about, Iran, or mainstream media goes on about Iran being state sponsors of terrorism across the world. And yet, terrorism that's carried out by Islamic regimes is nearly always carried out by Sunni Muslims and not Shiite. So, 75% of world terrorism is carried out by Islam, and yet off that, only 2% is Shiite.
But isn't it interesting, John, not to completely digress from what you're saying, but isn't it interesting, folks, how all of this, targeted for assassination campaigns, constructs et al., all started to pop up during this particular conflict with Iran. All of a sudden, people are being targeted with assassination. I think, John, that there's more to this than meets the eye, and I'd be very skeptical of what's coming out in the so-called fourth estate in the mainstream media. These are, to be honest, I'll say how it is, mate. These are just intelligence-based constructs.
Do you think that the political state is making capital on the current situation? Surely
Making
not.
shit up? Absolutely.
And then there was the guy I don't have a slide for it, but there was a guy shot dead yesterday by Secret Service outside the White House.
Oh yeah, I saw some of those reactions across social media. Some of them were very well placed and organic. I mean, then there were some reporters they didn't kind of like bat an eyelid. It was some of them were quite funny actually. They didn't really react at all.
That one that's like, what's going on? That just looked like a green screen. It really did.
Yeah.
But have you noticed that social media has just got worse and worse and worse? I mean, it's full of misinformation. It's full of shit. I mean, there's a whole one going around just now about Starmer, and people are jumping on this bandwagon about Starmer telling people they're going to get to jail if they put up flags, and they're playing a video from 2024 when he's talking about the Southport riots. It's complete nonsense.
Yeah, this has been even going on prior to Elon Musk taking over X. Like, there's still that one that's been spun around since last year. And without totally going off topic here, John, folks, that Ewan Blair, Tony Blair's son, is like one of the the major stakeholders, or who's contracted with the Labour government's ID plans, and that has been debunked and debunked and debunked and debunked. Multiverse Limited are not involved in anything got to do with the government's national digital ID plans. Nothing.
Yeah, but that doesn't make for a good story, David. Does it make for clicks and likes?
It doesn't. It doesn't put those Musk bucks in your pocket, mate, through Stripe at the end of every quarter or whatever it is.
And let's face it, Twitter was a cesspool by the time Jack Dorsey had come to the end of his reign. But is it any better now?
No.
Is it? No, I don't think it is. Yeah.
No, it's just gone on steroids. Like, to be honest, I mean, it's a bit of a reach in saying it. Yes, Twitter 1.0 with Dorsey et al. And the shadow banning and the Twitter files and all of that, it certainly had its problems. It had some deep, murky stuff that was going on. But for smaller accounts like, mine and yours and Ben's and plenty of others, we had quite a bit of decent organic reach and actually reaching our followers with very interesting posts and rants and whatnot. But not now. Not now.
No, definitely not now.
Not unless you spend £8 a month at least.
You don't even get it.
That's not guaranteed.
I tried it, and it's a waste of time. There's no point in giving Musk money for this. It's shit. It's a shit platform, and it's not going to get any better because it's been subsumed into the capitalist system.
Yeah.
But anyway,
but that thing with Ivanka Trump, don't believe it. I wouldn't necessarily believe that, folks.
I don't believe it.
Think critically. Yeah.
Yeah, think critically, people. Speaking of thinking critically, that's the Russian lady saying, "Where's BBC? Where's CNN?" Foreign journalists came to Starobelsk and Lugansk to document the NATO-sponsored Ukrainian terrorist attack. So we're talking about the Ukrainian drone that dropped into the Russian... Ukrainian drone that dropped into the Ukrainian college, which is in Russian-occupied Lugansk. Yeah?
Not officially annexed yet, but it is Russian-occupied Lugansk. It will be annexed at some point. Trust me on that.
Oh, I'm sure it will, but
yes,
basically Ukraine's doing what they've been doing since 2014, and they're still shelling the Donbass.
Oh wow! Could that have been a reason why Putin and Lavrov that went in with their SMO? I wonder why they acted in such a way.
Somebody might even have made a video about that. But anyway, so and as a critical thinker and playing both sides of the line, telling the truth where one can, maybe the BBC, CNN, and foreign journalists aren't there because Russia makes it too hard for them to get there. Is that maybe part of the problem? If you're going to get arrested if you're in Russia as a foreign journalist, you're maybe not going to go.
Yeah, unless you're like the BBC's, top, foreign
yeah, like
correspondent in that
John
area. But
Simpson or
this
something like that. Yeah,
Steve Rosenberg or
yeah,
someone like that, because again he's proficient, he's fluent in the Russian language, so they might kind of say, duh, he's okay, let him in. The rest of them, yet, you know.
yeah. Putin says preparations were made for a retaliatory strike against Ukraine, and then, boy, did he drop one. So the Ukraine killed 16 children, killed 6 children that morning in Lugansk, and then Russia dropped an Oreshnik into Kiev last night.
It's the third time they've used an Oreshnik allegedly in combat, but this is a hypersonic munition missile, and you can strap a lot of juicy stuff, warheads, onto those Oreshniks. They're utterly unstoppable, Sarge, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean that's a video down underneath the text, and you can't see it playing as a video, but they're so fast. I mean, these things just boom, 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 boom.
I think that was kind of like a red warning. That was a very serious warning to the Kiev regime. Like, stop effing around.
And I don't think they had any warheads on them. I think they were kinetic again.
Yeah.
So Kaka says Russia hit a dead end on the battlefield, so it terrorizes Ukraine with deliberate strikes on city centres. Well, I think Putin's already told us it would be a deliberate retaliatory strike. But even then, for attacking a city centre, apparently they only killed 2 civilians. So it seems to me that maybe Russia's targeting is more spot on than Ukraine's is, despite its use of Starlink.
That's pretty surgical. That's pretty surgical within international frameworks. Yeah. It seems to be that the Russians they definitely do their homework. They definitely do a lot of thinking before they strike. So there can't be the usual blowback, or it'd be very hard for that sort of blowback to happen. And who's Kaya Kallas? I mean, this is the very Estonian lady, right, who doesn't even know if the EU has a strategy for the Middle East. I mean, she's
as thick as mince.
She's an absolute embarrassment, and it's with these sorts of slides that I wish our dear friend Ed was here, because Ed would absolutely eviscerate Kaya Kallas with these sorts of slides.
He did like Kaka's Corner.
He did like Kaka's Corner. God bless him.
Right. Next, we have reports that residents of Russia's Arctic town of Zapolyami have been hearing mysterious nighttime humming noises, which some locals jokingly link to the nearby Kola super deep borehole, the deepest borehole ever drilled at 12 kilometers, 7.5 miles long. Interesting. Ed would have been right into this one as well, because
rabbit hole, pun intended. Yeah.
Yeah. Was there not somebody dropped a microphone down that and thought they could hear screaming from the pits of hell itself?
What was the name of that rabbit hole that you guys did about that so-called kind of like hole in America where people kind of drop stuff down? Mel's hole.
Mel's hole, yeah.
Mel's hole. So is this like a Russian Mel's hole? Maybe not exactly. It was drilled, but
this was a scientific experiment. They were trying to drill. They were trying to drill through the mantle, I think, and they got to 12.5, or they got to 12 kilometers, and gave up.
Because maybe they found something that they didn't necessarily want to find. Disclosure day is coming, Mr. Porter.
Speaking of boreholes, Angela Merkel becomes the first person to receive the European Order of Merit, the EU's new top honour for people who have contributed the most to Europe's development. In a speech, she urged EU leaders to regulate speech on social media to save democracy. So, to save democracy, you have to regulate speech. What is it with Germans and not letting people talk?
That is what you call a non sequitur. That is what you call a non sequitur. We're going to regulate speech. We're going to directly, censor you. But this is to save democracy.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Total non sequitur.
Speaking of non sequiturs, apparently this albino water buffalo has been called Trump due to his strawberry blonde hair and comb over.
You'd want to be under a rock, folks, if you haven't seen this on social media platforms like X and elsewhere, because it's been the algorithms love this story right now.
Yeah, they do. Right, here's one that's interesting. So this is 2 US Ospreys landing in the US embassy, I think, Venezuela. And people are cracking up. They're going, the humiliation continues. The US Army is freely doing military drills in Caracas. Now, they asked if they could do this. They asked the Venezuelan government if they could do a mock US embassy evacuation.
Wow, they actually asked for permission.
Yeah, they asked if they could do it. They didn't just go and do it. And yet people are cracking up as if it's like, oh, America's just tramping all over them. Well, yeah, maybe they are. And to be honest, I think they are tramping all over them. But they did ask. And the government said, yeah, okay, no problem. Like,
yeah. Yeah, the US, they can be diplomatic sometimes, as compared to other, previous activity in Venezuela, of course.
So the Department for Work and Pensions is to roll out spy camera cars fitted with hidden surveillance to catch benefits cheats red-handed. Investigators will use unmarked vehicles with covert cameras concealed inside and outside, capable of filming in all weather and darkness to secretly record claimants at home or out and about.
So are they going to be? Are they going to be using Tesla vehicles or something like that? Because they're all strapped up with cameras and all bits and pieces.
It's pish, But basically, they're going to be targeting people, or they say they're going to be targeting people because of things like this. So this lady on the left who is completely housebound due to her anxiety and mental health was filmed ziplining in Cancun. And doesn't appear to be suffering too much from mental health at the moment. And the other woman in the gym is completely almost immobile due to advanced rheumatoid arthritis in each of her joints.
Oh dear, I have to agree with what Real Review UK. Hello Ben, good evening sir, miss you mate. This is the TV detector vans all over again.
Yeah, well, it probably has a TV,
but a bit more evolved with technology this time.
Yeah, and if you don't know, TV detector vans were real, right? They put TV detector vans out there with turning antennas and everything.
Oh yeah,
and they did nothing.
Nothing.
They couldn't tell if you were watching the TV or not.
Nothing theatrical about that at all, sir.
Nothing.
Cheers.
No, nothing.
Nothing theatrical.
Nothing at all. No performative. Not performative at all. No, there is no such thing as TV detecting equipment. I mean, it's just ludicrous.
I'm sure DWP could probably do a lot more work with social media. I'm sure they do that already with their, I know HMRC have got the Connect system where they use like lots of identifiers and they kind of hoover up a lot of information about people, but
well,
go ahead.
Basically, what DWP said was they're going to be targeting people who'd been identified to them as cheats, and they were going to go out and investigate them. And yeah, I can believe that. They're not going to be driving about in fucking spy cameras, cars. That's just ridiculous.
It's a very kind of inflated kind of like story to be used as a kind of like a chilling effect on other people. But I guess, we should be more specific. These individuals, they're already under the radar, so they're going to do more surveillance, more reconnaissance on them, more human intelligence or communications intelligence, right? Yeah, because they're already tagged.
So this is the kind of story that you just fucking come across and think, what the actual? So Did you know there's a sexy priest calendar that's sold every year in Rome around the Vatican? It sells for about €8, right?
Only €8. Sign me
€8.
up, man.
€8, and it's a great tourist attraction. And the people around the Vatican buy the sexy priest calendar, right?
Do you know what? Sorry to interject. It sounds like something from Father Ted, doesn't it? Troll Room.
It sounds exactly like something from Father Ted.
Let us know. Let us know in the Troll Room what you think. Let us know your thoughts on that.
So this guy holding the frame on the left here is the face of the sexy priest calendar. He's been on it for the last 23 years on the cover or whatever. It's a photograph of him taken when he was 17 and not a priest.
Wow.
Because he's never been a priest. And this is the big revelation.
Deception.
None of them, or very, very few of them, have ever been priests.
They're just male models.
They're just male models, yeah. And they take pictures of them every year and in clerical garb and put it out as a sexy priest calendar. Because there's nothing that a good Catholic doesn't like but a sexy priest, huh? And where's Shalini? Where's Shalini when you need her?
I'm an Irish Catholic. I've got nothing to say regarding that.
You're a male Irish Catholic. I was looking for a female one.
But like maybe some of our female viewers, listeners, or participants in the Troll Room, they might want you to drop a link, John. So I mean, it's only €8, ladies.
€8.
Fill your boots for some sexy priests. It's going to a good cause at the Holy See. So
that's it. €8. Right, the US Forest Service law enforcement is now asking for the public's help identifying a group of Indian nationals, oh my god, seen defacing Cathedral Rock in Sedona, Arizona, a sacred Native American site, with furious Americans demanding their immediate deportation. Why do you want to deportate them? Why would you want to Why would you want to deport them? Why wouldn't you just want to put them in jail? Shouldn't they suffer first? But yeah. I mean, pretty crass behaviour, really.
That is, definitely. If you're going to deface and denigrate such, I mean, I've heard of Sedona before. It's one of these very spiritual areas of the the United States, and yes, there's strong links to the Native American population as well. And
they do. The Native Americans take their history seriously. They really do.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't mess with them. Do not mess with them.
So this guy says he just had his first Walls Feast of the Year. That's the ice lolly. It will be his absolute last, and this is shocking. This is the kind of stuff that you come here for, because I mean, if this is true, then why would you continue? How can you go on with life? They've replaced the chocolate ice cream with vanilla, and worse, they've got rid of the hard chocolate centre. The very essence of a feast. Ooh. It tasted like a cheap nut. I mean, how could anyone even consider doing such a thing?
Oh, you're making my mouth water, mate. I haven't had... I mean, for this weather that we're suffering in the UK right now as well.
Yeah.
I haven't had a feast in years, but they are yummy. They're yummy.
What weather?
Hey?
What weather?
Well, you're up in Glasgow, mate. It's a bit cooler for you, isn't it?
18 degrees here. 18.
It's been a sweltering 30 or 31 down south in Blighty, you know what I mean? Don't rub it in.
It was 20 earlier on. 20.
Oh, yeah.
My wife's going, oh, it's hot.
This is... I think this is a Celtic thing, it's a Scottish thing. It's very much an Irish thing as well. It's that 21, 22 degrees. We're like, oh yeah, 21, 22 degrees. In Ireland, in Southern Ireland, folks, to be more specific, when it goes, above 22, 23, 24, 25, it's like, holy Mary, Mother of God, Jesus, it's roasting out.
I went out today and I was still wearing my hoodie.
When you're starting to sound like an expat from Spain. It's like, oh, it's 17 degrees. Quick, turn on the heating. Jesus Christ.
Oh, have you noticed that though? When you're in the house, you know, if the house is like 17 or 18 degrees in the summer, it's cold.
Yeah, it
And
is.
yet in the
yeah.
winter, 17 or 18 degrees and the house is really, really hot.
It's really, really nice. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, right.
Next slide, please.
Passkey. Well, here's one for you, David. Can you explain this? Because, you know, being a non-IT guy, I have no idea what passkeys are. But neither does this guy. Passkeys will integrate with digital IDs. Stay away, right? Oh, hold on. There's more. Still holding on to my password manager for dear life, while passkeys try to convince me that biometrics on a corporate server is somehow safer.
It's not going to be going on a corporate server.
There's no biometrics in passkeys.
It's got nothing to do with digital ID verification or credentials. It's stronger password authentication. It stays local on your device, as well as if you want to use a biometric fingerprint, and that is optional. This is something this is something that we criticized Andrew Bridgen about a couple of weeks ago, and justifiably so. Is that this sort of stuff is just clickbait nonsense, misinforming the public, getting their back, you know, up about something that they really shouldn't have to worry about. Passkeys will not integrate with digital ID verification or credentials. It's absolute horse shit, folks. Take it from John, take it from myself, people who know a little bit about technology, just a little bit. You know, John was a former IT manager. I think you can trust John with his take. You know,
I do have a Master of Science in IT
and a Master of Science as well. Thank you for correcting me, sir.
Right, okay. Boeing are engaged in a $9 an hour Boeing engaged $9 an hour Indian engineers to build the 737 MAX software. Maybe that explains some of the problems we've had with the 737 MAX.
Oh my God. It reminds me of an old Slavic, I think it's a Russian expression, idiomatic expression. Cheap man pays twice. Cheap man pays twice.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
£9 an hour. You pay peanuts, you get peanuts. Oh my God.
Demi Moore, or as this person here is referred to, or Demon Moore, wanders down the Cannes red carpet in this stunning outfit, which appears to be finished off with her duvet. What the fuck? Did she just get out of bed and think, oh, I'll take the duvet with me? I mean, that is ridiculous, isn't it? That is ridiculous.
Sorry, I got a little bit distracted from the troll room. Good evening again, troll room. There's a certain individual called Real Review UK who's trying to poach your viewers.
Oh, hey, mate. It's like, holy shit! It's like an advert stream, isn't it? I mean, I don't do adverts, which you'll find that the Real Review UK does. So, unlike his stream, you won't be interrupted by adverts here. But bloody hell, look at him! I mean, look at all the nonsense on the chat. I take a very laid back approach to it. Oh yeah, sure you do, mate. Yeah, you're fucking laid back.
Sgt Grumpy, have you said hello to the troll room this evening?
I don't think I have, but there's not a lot of people in it. Frankie's in it, Beats and Tapes, Ben, obviously. Good to see you, Ben. Despite what I say about you, you know I don't love you. Sorry, do love you, do. Julie, hi Julie. I did notice I haven't seen Cellini. I don't know why she's not here. She's probably out in the town. Right.
Out on the tear with Mr. Vaughan.
Here's one for you, right? This guy was all up in arms about this. White van man Jamie Spence, 52, handed a criminal conviction. Well, it's not really, it's an offence. And £266 court bill just for tooting his horn to get a friend's attention.
Jesus.
Well, wait, hold on a minute though. Hold on.
Jeez. All right.
The Chelmsford driver sounded his White Ford Transit van horn multiple times, sitting stationary outside Braintree train station on the 4th of December 2025, while trying to attract the colleague's attention. One, get out your fucking van and go and speak to the guy, right? Secondly, if you're going to ignore fines and ignore court summonses, they're just going to keep mounting up.
Yeah.
So you could have paid the on-the-spot fine that you got from the cop.
Got it reduced.
Yeah. But no, you just fucking binned that and thought this isn't going anywhere because it's a stupid offence. Well, you know what? It's not a stupid offence if you're lying in your bed ill and somebody's tooting a fucking horn all day outside your door, is it? So, you know what? Play stupid games, get stupid prizes.
Right,
So I've no sympathy for them. No sympathy.
Right, you're a former plod, right? Mm-hmm. And so is that sort of thing, like, you know, generally bookable? Like, how would you have reacted in that situation as a former police constable?
You'd have a word with the guy usually, and you'd go, look, mate, you want to fucking knock it on the head. You know, if you're going to go and speak to if you need somebody's attention, go and speak to them. Same with taxi drivers.
What would he be done for? Kind of public disorder, breach of the peace, or
it's a road traffic offence.
It's a road traffic offence.
You sound your horn while you're stationary and there's no danger. That's a road traffic offence. So
once or twice, but thrice or 4 times is excessive.
No,
all right,
not at all. If say you're a taxi or you're going to pick up your mate and you pull up outside the door and hit the horn, that's an offence.
Even within a neighbourhood.
Yeah, because where's the danger? Your horn's there to warn other road users of danger. Where's the danger?
So the best option is number one, get out or use your mobile phone and call the individual.
Yeah. So you don't fucking hit the horn, and people that do it, they think, oh, nothing off it, you know. But you know, if you're picking up your mate to go to work every morning at 5 o'clock and you turn up and go beep, right? I bet there's somebody sitting in a house somewhere that if they had a rifle, they'd take you out.
What warning shot first in the air, and then after that they aim.
There's another. There's another question. That someone said something about, you know, give somebody a warning shot or whatever, and that I replied to this tweet saying, no, you don't warn anyone with a shot. If you're pulling the trigger, you're hitting the target. That's it. You don't fucking fire shots off randomly so to miss people, because then you don't know where the bullet's going.
Right. So Real Review UK says it really isn't an enforced law, but it can be enforced.
Of course it can,
as it was here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course it can. Yeah. So you probably find the cop went up to the guy and goes, you want to stop that, mate? Because it is actually an offence. And the guy got his back up and went, yeah, it's a fucking offence, all right. Beep, beep. Just trying to get my mate over. Yeah, well, here's your ticket, you know? Yeah. And, you know, if you're going to be a dick, you're going to get... Well,
if you ignore it, he's probably lucky that, you know, he didn't get a knock at the door from the bailiffs, you know, for ignoring it for so long. Because that can happen too. And that's a different story.
Yeah. So... yeah, I've no sympathy for him, and that might sound extreme, but you know what? If you're part of society, have some consideration for other people.
Take it from the former PC, folks. Just think twice before you beep your horn like that.
Yeah, before you be a knob. So, over a dozen dismembered cats have been found floating in a pond of an abandoned house, sparking fears they could be the victim of a serial killer.
Oh, Jesus.
Paula Singleton discovered 16 dead cats, some of them dismembered, while searching for her own missing moggies in the garden of the home up for sale in... and I've forgotten what town it was.
This is like the Fred and Rosemary West of cats situation, isn't it?
Yeah, and I know it doesn't sound bad because it's cats, but you know what? Isn't this how serial killers start? Don't they start with animals?
Yeah,
and then it progresses. You know,
that's a very dark case. It's horrific animal cruelty. It's completely inhumane. Yeah,
I'll get the rest of it. Coventry. Last Sunday. Yeah.
There seems to be this sort of association with poisoning and taking out cats in local areas and neighborhoods of the UK. But this particular case it takes the biscuit. It's a feline massacre. You know?
It's not funny, and I know I shouldn't be laughing, but he's right. It is a feline massacre. It's bizarre.
16 dead cats. It's completely
It's a
dark
bit
and
odd.
bizarre.
And the thing is,
yeah.
the guy's taking them or luring them to a particular spot at my house. Meow, Sakar. Since Ben, that's a good one. But
And Meowsiker, yeah, that's a very good portmanteau, sir. Very nice. Nice compound adjective.
But the guy is going, he's either, or women, but most serial killers are men, statistically. But these cats are being lured either to that spot or he is dumping them in that spot. This is true serial killer stuff.
He has a serious thing for cats. This chap could have had a serious bout of toxoplasmosis in the past, and he's just hell bent on.
If he had a serious bout of toxoplasmosis, he would love cats.
And he
would love cats. He'd be like Ben. He would be surrounded by pussy. You love your cats, don't you, Ben? You really love your cats. Cats' lives matter, says Julie.
Yeah. In the words of Chris Whitty. Next slide, please.
Yes, a fiend abused woman demanding 150 quid for a wasted date after she refused to bed him. So the guy, 61, took a woman on a date, and obviously he didn't get anywhere. I mean, first date, would you? But so he didn't get anywhere, and then he pestered her. He pestered her, demanding 150 quid on social media for the time he wasted taking her on a date, and she's not putting out. Sorry, to the point where she left our house for 2 weeks because she was frightened he was going to come round and, you know, he said he was going to send the boys round. Now,
Jesus Christ,
apparently he didn't have any of the information that he said he had. You know, like he said he'd hacked her social media and he had all her details, but he didn't really. But the judge took a dim view of it anyway. He gave him a suspended sentence and something like 250 hours of community service as well.
Yeah, he, like in that sort of case, depending on how hard that he went, and it seemed like he leaned in there hard, he would have been up under the Harassment Act, the Communications Act, Malicious Communications Act as well. They could have handed him under like a lot of things.
Ben says he just looks lonely. He looks like a fucking psycho, mate. Look at him.
Yeah.
Right, speaking of lonely, a Brazilian politician applied black on live, I think they mean blackface, on live TV and asked, "Am I black now?" So she applied heavy dark makeup, right?
Yeah, and it's not black. It's very
not
dark
black.
Brown.
It's brown.
Let's be specific about this. Yeah,
it's dark brown makeup, and she's already got a tint about her. But she goes, "Am I black now?" Her point: if makeup doesn't change race, why would surgery change gender? It's a good question. That's a damn good question.
And so she's been, a criminal case has been opened against her.
Well, I'm not sure because reading the information, it seems the criminal case might be against the people who are trying to apply this law. So I'm not quite sure.
She could have said, for example, "Am I Indian now?" Maybe she could have said that instead.
But then people think she just put poo in her face.
Oh my god!
I don't know what's happened to X, but my feed now appears to be inundated with Indians being killed by trains.
That's because you keep on clicking on those videos, Sgt. Grumpy.
Funny though.
And the algorithm is feeding you more and more of the same.
It is feeding me predatory trains. That's what it's feeding me. How can a train sneak up on you? I just don't get it. How can so many people be affected by such a constrained mode of transportation? Right, moving on. Brewdog founder and husband to Georgia Toffolo James. I don't know who Georgia Toffolo is, but anyway, James Watt, named after the guy who invented the steam engine, launches new beer brand called Second Best. Yeah, Second Best. Well, your first one wasn't fucking first either, was it? Just months after his 2 billion craft empire dramatically collapsed. So the 44-year-old millionaire, still a millionaire, is behind the new canned beer venture featuring 2 pale ales and a lager. Fuck off. I don't want your shitty bulldog ale.
That's
hate
kind
bulldog.
of it's kind of piss poor branding, isn't it? Just calling
Yeah.
something like second
Second
best.
best,
I would sack his marketing team
That-
over that. Like, you
that's
could have
just
come up with something better than that. You know?
doomed to failure, isn't it?
I've had BrewDog on occasion in the past, and it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad at all.
I would
Wasn't that
never
bad at all.
touch the stuff. Man's scum.
Touched it.
The
Okay.
man's scum. He took up with. He's the guy that offered these pubs to be used as vaccination centres to Sturgeon. Scumbag.
You know, for 3 weeks to flatten
Yeah.
the curve and all
Yeah,
of that.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. A young black kid named Dion Wiley, not so Wiley, went viral for showing off a fat stack of cash on his prom night. And he was shot and killed in a parking lot at an after-prom party for his fat stack of cash. Who could have seen that coming? It's a terrible story, but for fuck's sake. I mean, really? Why would you advertise that you had a big wad of cash? And why has he got a big wad of cash on a prom night?
Yeah.
It's all a bit sus.
It's yeah, you know what I mean? That's a total kind of FAFO, isn't it? You know,
Yeah.
to get that sort of picture
Absolutely.
on, you know, for Instagram or for Snapchat or for somewhere else like that. Hey, look at me. I'd be very interested to know that
Probably
where
fake
did
money.
that actually happen, John? Where did that happen? I think it's stateside.
Yeah, it is stateside. Of course it's stateside.
Somewhere.
Yeah, I'd need to look it up again. I've forgotten. My memory's going these days. Right, moving on. Met Office sends warning as UK to sizzle and 30-degree sunshine today. Well, it's not the UK that's sizzling at 30-degree. I think we've established that because it's only fucking 18 here, right? Before rising to 33-degree centigrade blowtorch heat. That's not blowtorch heat. That's not. I'm telling you. My blowtorch puts out a lot more heat than 33 degrees.
It's sensationalist language, folks.
It's fucking nonsense, mate. Isn't it? It's complete and utter nonsense.
They want people to have that reaction, so you'll click right through.
Some guy posts a tweet today saying it's 28 degrees at 10 in the morning. If you're walking your dogs today, you don't deserve to have one. Well, what the fuck is a dog meant to do?
God.
You're not meant to take your dog for a walk. What happens when we lived in France and it was 40 degrees centigrade and we just used to let the dog out the back? Should we not have done that?
Turn on the hose or the sprinklers, like, yeah.
That's ridiculous statements.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, I'll tell you something. GB News, they're not far off that sort of clickbait nonsense.
Oh,
and some of the stuff that they put out on social media. They are not far off the Daily Fail. I'll tell you that. Yeah,
they're not far off at all, mate. Not far off at all. This guy, South Shropshire this morning, and most days I don't live anywhere near an airport. Well, that's exactly fucking right, mate. Because if you live,
hit that button. Have you got that button for chemtrails?
Yeah, if you lived near an airport, like I do, I'm within 5 minutes of the fucking airport, you never see chemtrails. Never. Because the planes are too low. Because the planes need to be high up in the air, where the hot exhaust will condense into a contrail.
It's a conspiracy to poison.
Fucking. So if you live nowhere near an airport, then I would expect you to be able to see contrails because the planes will be high up.
It's to help amplify the 5G signals.
Oh, jeez, yeah. Oh,
which will give you a lot of sunburn or radiation burns. I think you sent me something about that.
Those people are nuts. Yeah, they're saying those things that detect people at crossings and cars coming to traffic lights are 5G phased array weapons that are irradiating you and causing cancer. These people have fucking lost it.
40,
they're
30,
on it.
20, retard.
They really
that
are.
That retard goes for you, Mark Steele.
That
goes for you, Mark Steele. Yeah.
Met police officer rushed to hospital after being hit by e-scooter rider outside Buckingham Palace. So you can see, I don't know what the fuck was going on, but look at all the detritus they've left on the road. Right? So both the e-scooter pilot and the police officer were both rushed to hospital by a fucking air ambulance for non-life-threatening injuries.
Yeah, that's a bit excessive,
It
isn't it?
seems a bit OTT.
Outside the palace, I mean, that particular area, a lot of people have been, I'm sure a lot of viewers, listeners, you and I included, John, have been around that particular
Yeah.
area of the palace, and you don't see traffic kind of like flying around on the road there. I mean, there are restrictions like in place.
Yeah, I know.
It's a bit of a strange one. I think what happened was that there was just an e-scooter an e-scooter rider who was going at a very high speed and just walloped into an officer by the looks of it.
Mhm. Yeah, I think so. A Florida man is going viral after discovering millions of dollars in a bundled cash floating in the ocean near Fort Lauderdale Beach before pulling it ashore and immediately contacting police. Well, no, he's not. He's not. He found a bag of cocaine, and apparently this is not an uncommon thing to find these days in South Florida beaches.
Hell of a drug.
Yeah, but it's not uncommon to find, cocaine wrapped up in waterproof sacks and bags, and because it's been dumped, as it's being smuggled up, and they've had to dump it because the Coast Guard are onto them. So he found a bag of cocaine. He didn't find any cash. It was just cocaine, so he contacted the authorities.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying he couldn't have sold the cocaine for millions of pounds, but I'm not suggesting he takes any action other than contact the proper authorities when finding such a thing.
Yes. I wonder if there was an airdrop into a particular forest and a bear got its paws on some of that white stuff.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Cocaine Bear, Sarge?
It's terrible. It's
terribly
terrible.
good. It's so funny. If you just want some popcorn chocolate box entertainment, Cocaine Bear it's very funny. I think 18s and above.
It's terrible. But yeah. Yeah, let's move on. Kyle Busch died of severe pneumonia. So this was a NASCAR legend. This guy just dropped dead over the weekend, basically. NASCAR legend Kyle Busch died of severe pneumonia leading to sepsis, according to his family. Medical evaluation provided to the Busch family concluded that severe pneumonia progressed into sepsis, resulting in rapid and overwhelming associated complications.
Yeah.
And this guy goes, I'm sorry, but this makes little to no sense. With the money and access to treatment he had, someone either missed something or misdiagnosed something. How was he so sick with pneumonia that it became sepsis? Yet, well, the guy obviously doesn't understand how quickly you can succumb to pneumonia and sepsis.
There's no conspiracy here. If you get sepsis, like, you've got to get urgent care. It's an emergency like situation. You could be dead within 2 to 3 days if you don't get urgent attention with sepsis.
Yeah, Frankie remembers what he was told about the 90s. That's that, mate. That's that. Frankie's having a go at bed in the comments. Right. And here we go. Speaking of other infectious diseases, residents burn Ebola treatment centre in the Congo as anger grows over the outbreak.
But that's not very clever, is it?
Do we have to go back? Do we have to go back there and start talking about average IQs and things? Really? These people are locking each other in their huts to die because one member of the family's got Ebola, and they're keeping the rest of them in there. So
it's a nasty, yeah.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee that they're all going to die. Well, there is if they all get locked in the hut.
Well, yeah, we're very, very close contact. It's got a huge fatality rate, and it's a very bad death.
Yeah,
it's a very bad death if you get Ebola or Marburg.
I think it's about 40%. There's the death rate for Ebola. Real Review says they probably think they're burning the Ebola. They probably do. Oh, right. Here's a sight for sore eyes. Battlestar Galactica bombshell Trisha Helfer, 52, joins OnlyFans. Ben's got an OnlyFans account. Did you know that?
I do know that.
Yeah.
It's not the OF account that you think it is. Or
I don't know. I've never seen
that
it.
the real
but
review
I know it's
tells
got
us
one.
about.
Yeah,
I want to know about the
I've actually never
other
seen it.
account.
The other account, yeah. The actress iconic as Seductive Cylon number 6 soft launched her page a month ago and has now gone public, telling People magazine she's in to do what I want phase of her life and wants to remove some of the stigma and to show herself off again on her own terms. I mean, she's already got like nude photos and things because she was a model. So, oh, well, it's
easy cash for her.
Yeah,
she's got a
and
a big base in the background anyway, so she's got a solid launch pad.
52. I was going to say, Shalini, you're not too old. You could still do it.
Hey, careful, Sergeant Grumpy. I have to be the responsible one here.
She was looking
Wind
for a
it
job.
in, mate.
She was looking for a job.
You are in trouble. Oh,
Probably.
my God.
Yeah. Right. Next one. I paid a plumbing company $4,400 to replace a sewer line under my garage, and now my garage floor looks like it lost a fight with a sidewalk. They cut a huge section out of the concrete, repaired the pipe, patched it back in with concrete that doesn't even remotely match the original floor. So I asked the foreman when they planned to stain or finish it so it would blend in better, and this man literally laughed and said, "It's a garage floor, buddy, not the Taj Mahal." I mean, I think that's a fucking good job, actually.
Yeah,
for a plumbing
I was
company.
looking at it going, what is the problem? Like, I mean, there's no. The person did the job. What more is there to it? Like, there's no cosmetic retouching.
It's a garage,
contract.
for fuck's sake. I think that's fine. I think that's okay.
Yeah, it does the job.
He could just paint it, says Ben. You're right, mate. He could just paint
exactly.
it. That again, a good use of AI to illustrate.
I saw a bit of this. Yeah.
Tell us it's a video, and these things creep along the table and then jump on people's faces. Then these things being phones. But yeah,
Yes.
it's pretty.
It's
pretty
actually it's quite creative using H.R. Giger, from who's famous from Alien, using the xenomorph kind of parasite, but this time it's the phone with tentacles. I think it really hits home here with this particular generative AI video. I think it resonated with a lot of people, and this is something that we've all seen. We've seen a parent that will be absolutely glued to the phone, and their child needs connection. It needs face-to-face and verbal connection, and it's not happening. So yeah, it's a very powerful video, actually.
US government releases previously classified UFO photo.
Good old Mary. There she is.
Some of these fucking videos are ridiculous. I mean, it's like the whole thing's ridiculous. The whole fucking UFO thing is ridiculous.
People are having fun with it. They're having fun with it.
Yeah, but some people are still taking it. Some people are still taking it so seriously, and the people that really piss me off are the people like Elizondo and Grush and Corbell and all that, who are making so much fucking money out of just telling lies. Basically, just telling lies.
Are they making a stack of cash from it though? I mean, the likes of Corbell, you think, Jeremy Corbell?
Yeah, I think so. George Knapp, yeah, he's fucking made his career. George Knapp was a serious journalist until he started talking to Bob Lazar, and then, I mean, he just lives off it now. Look at Linda Moulton Howe, I mean, these people made a good living off of telling lies about UFOs. The whole thing's ridiculous. I mean, look at that. I mean, look at this one. Star Wars balloon, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the same thing. It's a Star Wars balloon.
Or it could be potentially like a couple of like kids' helium balloons or something like that. Stuck together. It could be anything. Yeah,
it's exactly the same. See when you see it turning and the joints are in the same place. It's fucking so much.
And it's way out in the distance and it reflects. It could be something else.
And here's another one. I might make a video about this, but have you ever seen the film Phase 4?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
About the super intelligent ants. No. It's a sci-fi movie. It came out in 1974. It's quite weird. It's a weird movie, right? It's the guy that made all the like intros and things for Kubrick for 2001, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he made this feature movie called Phase 4, and he never made another feature movie after that.
Okay.
It is pretty weird. And it's the first movie in which geometric crop circles were shown.
Okay.
And then 2 years later, crop circles started appearing.
Crop circles became a thing. They became part of the zeitgeist. Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of suspicious. And before Phase 4, none of the crop circles that had ever appeared before that were bent crops. They were always cut. They were cut crops.
Mm-hmm.
There'd been a couple of crop circles, but they were just basic circles.
Yeah.
But the crops had been cut. And after that, the crops were all bent.
Right.
It's kind of suspicious, isn't it?
Mm.
I'm not saying correlation proves causation, but...
Extraordinary claims, extraordinary evidence, and all that jazz.
Yeah, exactly. Rihanna shows off her new scribble tattoo designed by her children. It looks like she fucking took this off the fridge. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's just awful. Why would you put that on your arm? Or, well, it's a leg, actually. Why would you put that? Why would you put that on a leg? Why is
this news? Rihanna shows off her new scribble tattoo designed by her children. Like, so what?
It's obviously been a slow news day there.
Yeah. Slow news cycle.
And last slide already.
Wow.
This man made a special suit for the goats to protect them from wolves. Wolves, you say?
Mecha goat.
Yeah, are you sure that you're protecting that goat from wolves?
Ah, I see.
Do you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
It's quite clever. It's quite inventive, actually, to protect the goats from other predators.
It might keep the other predators off as well.
I'll say nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, I think we're just about done, Ben. I'm going to watch the Grand Prix. It starts at 9 o'clock.
Nicely done.
Nicely done. Time to perfection.
Yes.
Unless you got anything else you want to talk about, my man.
No, I'm good. It's been great, and I look forward to another six baller next week with the other part of Chasing Dissent.
It'll be a much longer show next week because we'll have Ben, and he can talk for. Well, what can he talk for? He can talk for. What do you mean 2 weeks?
That's next week.
We covered the White House shooting, beats and tapes. We covered that earlier on. We covered that near the start.
Yeah.
He said,
but no,
earlier,
I'm good.
Oh, well, apparently he won't be back for 2 weeks. Well, there we go. So, such is life. Oh, he's away filming next Sunday. It means he's... Yeah, okay. Right, no worries. More OnlyFans.
Time for F1.
More OnlyFans content next Sunday. As always, it's been great. It's been great for you.
Odette stood on the pebbles, the Gracie licking his boots. He had salt in his heavy coat, the red dust in his veins. He talked to the wind like it was an old friend, bringing news from the south across the long blue miles. Oh, at the seagull, spread those heavy wings, leave the pier and the rain behind. Go find where your heart stays, under that African star. Hey, under that African star. He kept a jar on the shelf, filled with earth from the plain. Brighton was his walking ground, but the heat was his home. Now the chair is still, the morning tide is high, we see a white bird rising, breaking through the mist. Oh, at the seagull, spread those heavy wings, leave the pier in the rain behind. Go find where your heart stays, under that African star, hey, under that African star. Stop the flow for the man, hey, hey. Shout his name to the waves, hey. He ain't lost in the deep, he is back in the sun. He is back in the sun. Oh, at the seagull, spread those heavy wings, leave the pier in the rain behind. Go find where your heart stays, under that African star, hey, under that African star. Across the water, far away, across the water.